My name is Ariel Ezrachi. I am the Slaughter and May Professor of Competition Law and the Director of the Center for Competition Law and Policy. I joined the Oxford Law Faculty in 2003. I established the Oxford Center for Competition Law and Policy in 2004 and have been teaching and researching competition law ever since. I am delighted to have been appointed to the new chair in competition law. My core activities at the University of Oxford include the teaching of the graduate and undergraduate courses in competition law and directing the Center for Competition Law and Policy. Among our various activities, we have established the Journal of Antitrust Enforcement, which is published by OUP. We established a pro bono program called The Value of Competition, in which we coordinate the work of ambassadors around the world that spread the word about competition law, both in developed and developing countries. We successfully bid for research grants from various organizations, as well as grants for the teaching and training of judges who specialize in competition law and competition officials. And of course, we host numerous events every year that focus on regulation and competition law enforcement. My research in recent years focused on competition and digitalization, competition and economic inequality, and more broadly on the scope and limits of competition law enforcement. I authored several reports that were commissioned by international organizations that look at digital markets, the digital economy, and the way competition dynamics evolve in those settings. Reports for the World Bank, the European Commission, the European consumer organizations, and other international organizations. Recent books include How Big Tech Barons Smash Innovation, that was published by HarperCollins. And there we look at the way in which what seemed to be very positive innovation that comes out of ecosystems and platforms could actually form toxic innovation and reduce our welfare. Another book is Competition Overdose, that looks at the way in which the competitive process could then generate adverse effects on our welfare. And Virtual Competition, published by HUP, that looked more broadly at digital economy, the way power emerges in digital economy, the way algorithms are used to facilitate collusion or to target individuals, dark patterns, these sort of things. Also, another book that was released recently was the 8th edition of my analytical guide to the leading cases. This is an exciting time for competition law enforcement. The way we enforce competition law impacts not only on our markets, on our economic resilience, but also on the distribution of wealth in society, on the money in our pocket, and more broadly, it impacts other societal values and democracy. What I hope we will achieve in years to come is to enhance and nuance our research into competition dynamics, into the adequate level of intervention, and really try to look more broadly on the future scope and limits of competition law enforcement, and in the context of digital markets, also the scope of regulation. In terms of teaching, what we hope to achieve is a widening of the activities of the Center for Competition Law and Policy, as well as offering additional courses in competition law, including competition economics, mergers and acquisitions, and possibly also looking at cross-border enforcement challenges.